What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Sorry that it's so dark outside, but you got to get it. You know what I'm saying? Crack of dawn, as soon as the light hit, you got to be out here in these streets going to get it, because the early bird gets the worm. And you can't wait for nobody to give it to you. You got to go and get it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So every single day we out and about in the streets, and that's just how it is. And that's how we show our appreciation for the blessings that God has given us, and is maximizing all of the opportunities that he put before us. But outside of that, I want to talk about a couple different things. I've been talking to a lot of my friends out on the West Coast, specifically that stand over in the LA area, and they've been informing me something a little bit differently than the news has been talking about. Let me bring you up to date, right? So one of the things that a lot of my friends that's over on the West Coast are saying is that because the wildfires are happening, and the wildfires are taking place, in which the embers are now allowing for the fires to jump from house to house and building to building and place to place, that there are a lot of people that's also setting fires. They're telling me that there's people that are setting fires, and you know, the opportunists and the criminals and the degenerates of society and the people that are homeless and all of that type of stuff, that they look at this as their opportunity to take advantage of what's happening in society, as well as people are now breaking into homes and looting now that they're telling you to evacuate from your home. So if you over on the West Coast, you've had more than enough time, considering that a lot of this stuff is already been alerted over the past weekend, and now it's all the way up until Friday. And you don't have to wait until it gets to your location before you make a move. But basically what they're saying is that LA is like the purge. That whole area, everything over there, LA, Hollywood and everything like that, because of the evacuation measures and the preservation of lives, that it's now become a free-for-all. Now, we know that a lot of people are trying to get insurance. Why would you try to get insurance after the wildfires is already spread? You know the insurance companies ain't going for that shit. Insurance companies don't even want to rock with you if you are insured, and they're going to figure out every way to try to prevent themselves from going bankrupt in this whole situation. You think that the insurance companies is going to give you insurance at the last minute now that wildfires broke out, especially considering that a lot of the insurance companies were trying to get out of California in the first place? I've been telling y'all this over the past 2.5 years, that is not a place that you want to invest your money in, whether you're in real estate or anything like that, because the insurance companies is pulling out. My number one way to figure out whether or not a place is a good investment opportunity is to start by looking at the data and the statistics of the increase in prices, and whether or not the insurance companies are pulling out of that area. That's how I know Florida is a no-go. That's how I know that California is, pretty much everywhere in California is a no-go. And I know people are going to say, well, Anton, it's not all of California. It's not all of this place. It's not all of that. That's cool. I get it. It's not all of that now. Not right now, it's not. But California and the Los Angeles area is under siege. That fire, even today, I'm still getting reports that it's 0% contained. And people are basically trying to look at what happened to the previous locations and taking matters into their own hands to try to save their properties, which lends to number two that I want to talk about, and that a lot of these people, a lot of these celebrities that y'all thought had money, they don't. They broke. And a lot of people that y'all thought was millionaires, they were, but a lot of their net worth was tied up in their house. And so their house over in California was their retirement plan. Eventually they wanted to sell their house, or they put everything they had into that property. And now that the property is gone, they're praying and hoping and wishing for insurance companies to reimburse them, when in reality, it's not good. This is going to be a major, much bigger, fuck the fires. You know what I'm saying? The catastrophic losses and monetarily and net worth is going to be so massive, and people have no idea. And so, like, I know a lot of people like to say, oh, the weather and all of that. Nope. Everything I do, from a relationship to the place that I invest my money, to the locations that I go and visit and decide not to buy, versus the place that I continue to stay in, It's all a business decision. Every single decision that you have in this lifetime, from the person you decide to have children with, to the places that you decide to invest your money, to the safe havens where you want to protect yourself, because no place is safe. And so you always got to be reevaluating how you allocate your funds and your resources. If you are invested in the real estate market, even prior to the fires, you know that LA and all of those places is trash, because if you are doing it from like a rental perspective, they have some of the dumbest squatter laws that I've ever seen in my entire life. It'll take you 4 to 5 years just to get somebody out of your property. Now, the criminals is taking over. They're looting and running over everything. The people is absolutely under duress, and it's just not going to be a good look. So, you know, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that movie called Escape from LA with, I think it's Kurt Russell, and his name was Snake Plissken. That's what Los Angeles is turning into right now. It was already a shithole. It was already messed up. It was already one of the biggest places where you could see the class wars, where it's the haves and the have-nots, and then everybody else that's struggling, that's trying to figure out over there. And so I think that a lot of people is going to be moving away from Los Angeles and the California area. And if you haven't already and you're trying to get away from it, and you're not affected by the wildfires, you know, when all of this is said and done, then you're definitely going to be trying to do so going forward. Gavin Newsom is completely incompetent. Karen Bass is completely incompetent. They not checking for anybody. They're not, fuck the wildfires, right? The wildfires is the stage. And that's not saying that, you know, people are not affected or whatever, but the wildfires is the stage that then sets the precedent for what is going to happen afterwards, whether people move, whether everything is going to get looted. People are manually, arsonists are manually setting things on fire. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm being told. Hopefully I can get some footage and include it into the Millionaire Morning Show today. They are manually setting things on fire and absolutely destroying everything. And it's unfortunate. We are super blessed. Personally, I know it's cold outside, you know, but the summers is great. And I ain't got to worry about no wildfires, mudslides, criminals, high taxes, and bad leadership over here in Michigan. And it's going to be one of the biggest hubs for opportunity going forward. And I'm not telling you to move here because, you know, we cool. But what I am saying is y'all can move down to Texas and continue to turn Texas into California South. I know Austin is already a mini version of Los Angeles, but it's bad over there. So if you are over on the West Coast, or you were thinking about moving to the West Coast, or if you got family over there, protect yourself. Be very, very careful. Be mindful of your investments. Don't put everything into one basket. Diversify your portfolio, and be careful where you invest your resources and who you surround yourself with. That's all I'm saying. Be careful. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't believe everything that you see on the news. Take it with a grain of salt and then do your own research. And that's how you come to your conclusions. I love you. I appreciate you. We're going to do the Millionaire Morning Show today. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.